You've told us that you want to know what's going on at 10 Capital. Fortunately, things continue to happen at 10 Capital. This week, we're going to introduce our newest teammate, Sam Edmonds. Well, thanks for agreeing to do this,
Yeah,
Sam.
thank you.
I know you weren't asking to do this, but yeah, let's just start by telling people a little bit about who you are, where you're from.
Sure. Yeah, I grew up on the west side of the state, Kirkland, Washington. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my alma mater, O'Day High School, downtown Seattle. I probably credit them with molding me into who I am today, so I'm grateful for the Irish.
You had to commute to high school then?
Yeah, it was like a 20-25 minute commute across the bridge.
Got across early enough?
Got across, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then came over here in 2016 to Gonzaga, studied finance there, and plopped me right here. So.
Yeah. Well, before we get into how you came to be at 10 Capital, when you're not here, what are you doing? What are your hobbies, your interests?
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old German Shepherd that we rescued a couple years ago. So I'm outside with him a lot.
Yeah.
Out hiking, getting in the river. He was swimming in the river yesterday. So, and then like anybody here, I'm out on the golf course. Yeah. Just trying to hone in my craft. So,
nice.
Yeah.
You're a little bit
as best as we can.
You're a little bit better than most of us part-timers. So, what's one thing that would surprise people about you, or an interesting tidbit fact?
Tidbit fact. You know, I mentioned this, I think Ryan, my first day, came up to me and he was like, what's something that I could probably look up on you? Like, you know, just so you know. And I was like, well, I'm in the Seattle Times. It's on my fridge. My first time in Spokane was at Qualchin Golf Course for the golf state tournament, Washington State Tournament. And I got charged by a moose. On, I think it was hole 11. And so there's just a big picture with the giant moose and then me just right there. I had to run away, pull out the club, the whole thing. So just a fun little
So you've attempted
fact.
to fight a moose in
Basically,
your life.
yeah.
Right.
So if you need me to take care of your moose problem, I got it.
Everybody finds their way here in a lot of different ways. You were someone who proactively reached out and said, you need to get to know me. I deserve a shot. And we brought you in and said, well, are you willing to pay some dues, be an intern, show us what you got? And you said, I'll do whatever it takes. That's something that immediately when I hear someone say that, especially these days, catches my attention. But what made you reach out?
Well, I think like a lot of people my age graduated in 2020, year of COVID. It was pretty tough, you know, trying to find some work. And so, you know, took a break there, more so forced because a lot of places weren't hiring. Sure. Turn of the year 2021, I thought I need to get out and do what I want to do. So I just need to start reaching out, anybody I can find really, and a couple places in Seattle that I reached out to, a couple places here, and you know, I didn't know who to send an email to, who to talk to, so I sent it to you,
and Jake and I
went to the top, right?
Yeah.
I went to the top, I found your email address, and I emailed you and Jake got back to me day of, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, no, I remember he and I talking, being like, this guy's interesting, and he's being very proactive, and this is an industry that requires you to be a little audacious.
Right.
So you had that. What was it about the industry? Why are you interested in becoming an advisor? Because I know that's something you're working on your test. As a Sage who we interviewed a couple weeks ago. What is it that makes you think this is the career for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of introduced to part of the industry when I was young, just with my grandpa, and you know, we'd sit down and read the Wall Street Journal and talk about stocks and that sort of stuff, and that kind of, you know, intrinsically I think followed me into college, where I studied finance and even became more interested in kind of, you know, whatever aspect I could really get exposure to. I didn't know what I wanted to do within the, because you know, finance is very broad. You know, could be at a lot of different places. Sure. So I think more or less when I came here, I just thought I want an open mind about, what's best for me, what's the best career track, what can I get exposed to that really resonates with me. And I think, working with Jake initially and on the planning side and a lot of, what he was doing really kind of piqued my interest. And I was like, I want to help people. I want to help people in their financial life. I can see on their faces, when you are talking about maybe a goal that they thought they couldn't reach, that you're telling them, you know what, you can do it. And for me, just being in the service industry and helping people out is really what drew me in.
Yeah. Sam got a shot, and as he leaves working with Jake, because Shelby was on maternity leave. We're like, all right, here you go. I mean, sometimes hard work and opportunity have to meet. And then, credit to you, because everybody was like, we have to keep him around here. He's great. So
forced my way into a position.
You and I are getting a chance to work together, and have been appreciative of a lot of your help. So let's kind of rapid fire through a few last questions. What's your favorite experience so far at 10 Capital? And like, hey, this is something that really stood out that was special. What would that be?
Yeah, I think being in this new space is awesome, and then having things open back up. So some of the events that we've done, whether it was the quarterly with the Gonzaga guys or one of the cooking classes I did with Ben, and then just seeing all the clients come together and being in a space where we can, talk about anything we want, really, just kind of formally but informally also. And so that's been an awesome experience. And then you got to throw in the shuffleboard table and the after work tournaments that we got going on, and
it was a home run.
it's been good.
If anyone's wondering, I am unequivocally the worst shuffleboard player at the firm.
We were partners. Yeah, we were partners like the first tournament, and I don't know if we finished the game.
You had to upgrade your team for sure. Maybe this is a little related, but thing you enjoy most about being here at 10 Capital, maybe it's just that, maybe it's the camaraderie but.
Yeah, definitely. It's, being a part of the team and knowing that, everyone here really wants their colleague to succeed, right? And they're going to help out in any way they can, whether that's you offering mentorship or other advisors offering mentorship. And, that's just been awesome for me, having the support, having the backing that, we're here if you need anything, we want to guide you through this process. So that's definitely been, one of my favorite parts for sure, because it's made my time here awesome.
What's something that surprised you about 10 Capital, the industry? And like you said, you were in and around it, but this is your first time living it day to day. What's maybe a little different than you expected?
I don't know. I try to keep an open mind. So I came in not really knowing what I'd be hit with, or I really was, because
we don't hit anyone here.
Well, I was hitting the ground running hard, being kind of thrown into a situation that filling in for Shelby obviously, and I was talking to clients like week 2, so that for me, kind of trial by fire, it was good for me. But I think one of the more surprising things is, and it kind of goes back to the camaraderie, is just the willingness, and I think honestly it's just firm level, because I don't think you see it a lot in the industry, is just the openness for having that help and having that mentorship.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's certainly want. Well, you actually, I believe, requested that we did with Sage the chance to flip the script and ask a question of me. So, what's your question?
I alluded to it, but I didn't know it was actually going to happen.
Hey, if you got an idea, that's what makes us play. Hey, if you got an idea, we're going to roll with it. So, what do you got?
I think for you, and it'll kind of go back to what I talked about just moments ago. What's your favorite thing about young people coming in, young professionals, mentoring them, seeing how you can help them be the professional and move within the industry? What's your favorite part of seeing that?
I think it starts off with one of the things I'm proud about our team about is most of us don't have any family in the industry. Right. And that's not to negate it as a reason to get into it, but we all found our way into it in a variety of reasons, but it was a passion, and you don't do that without a lot of help along the way. And so Kurt Orton, who obviously was there day one, co-founding the firm with myself, and really putting the bulk of his 35-year reputation behind what was then just my ideas, is something I'm eternally grateful for. And so I think you got to pay that forward. And I've talked about, again, one of my main purposes in life is just the ability to matter to other people and help them get where they want to go. And so it is a huge charge to me, and a huge meaning to, again, see young, talented people come in. I think 20 years plus younger than me. I mean, I'm getting up there now. I was always the young kid. And I think it's also important to show the clients that we're doing our best to perpetuate this with like-minded people who could be there to take care of them for, long after we're done. And so, but again, I think you want to invest that time in people like you. It was the thing that stood out, when they're hungry. And for you and Sage, most recently, you're hungry and you want to learn, and you're going to seize that opportunity. And so when you see that, it makes you want to work that much harder to help them realize their goals. And that's certainly how we feel about you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Sam, again, hopefully if you didn't meet him at the last quarterly, you'll see him at an event soon. And so excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
See you soon.